Did Amy send you this?
No. But that's so smart. I'm gonna do that from now on. That's the smartest shit I've ever seen. Because you know what I do?
What do you do?
Insane. I get hand soap in my hands and I do this and I go like this. It works though. It does. The hand soap smell.
That's taking me out.
No, because why would you invite people over and not put poopery in there?
You should have air freshener in your bathrooms. I think that's very important. But that's fucking funny.
Holy cow! If you're just having us over for like 15 minutes to like an hour and there's nothing in there, I get it. An hour's not enough time for me to brew.
You fed me. We've hung out. We've had drinks, and now we're at the point where I gotta take a shit. So where's the spray?
I'll go home, I guess.
Have you ever been like at a social event and then like it happens and you're like, I gotta go?
Like you're all sitting around socializing and I start to sweat and I'm like It's so true though. Like the it's a rush. It's a rush.
I hate that feeling though.
In Barnes and Noble. In TJ Maxx.
And those are actually the worst bathrooms to have to go in.
Oh my god. Because everyone gets that way. It's
I feel like
Barnes and Noble effect.
I have the shit in Barnes. Actually, my stomach does tend to hurt in Second and Charles. Like, that's a reoccurring theme. What is it? Is there something in books that...
Well, yeah, I think so. Because when you're growing up, like, I don't know if your mom did, but my mom would tell me to read on the toilet. And that would help me concentrate. Because
Interesting.
Man, an overshare for the first episode. I was a constipated child. Chronically.
You know what it is? Because you were a milk drinker as a kid.
No.
You were not a milk drinker?
We were raised on, like, soy milk and rice milk.
Okay,
we're
no.
A crunchy granola family.
No. I wish. Me... Give me a glass of milk. Top me off, actually.
Put me in the commercial.
Actually, I do have milk. Got milk for sure. But I loved milk. And I think that's where a lot of constipation came from. I also feel like that's where these came from, too. Oh. The hormones in milk led me here today.
I don't know what my excuse is. Because I felt like...
Crunchy granola, that's why.
Right.
Well, no.
Farm raised.
These are all natural.
No GMOs.
When you are hosting people at your home, you should have toilet paper in the bathroom.
Yeah.
A plunger. Because have you ever stopped someone's toilet up? I've never done that before.
I have.
Like.
I feel like at every gathering I attend. That's why it's just like.
I'm so sorry. I feel like that's embarrassing. Like, have you ever stopped the toilet up and it's not been a plunger?
Yeah.
I see so many horror stories of like people on first dates with people and they go to someone's house, stop the toilet up. It was a video, or maybe that was a movie. Girl goes out the window. She leaves out the window. Yeah. She's like, I'm not going to face this man. The toilet just stopped up. I clogged it.
That's insane. No.
And then you like unmatch with them on Tinder.
I've stopped up a man's toilet and he didn't have a plunger in there, but he did have like a mop, and so I used the other end of the mop, and I was like,
did he know?
Nope. He didn't.
So then he goes to mop,
and he's like,
oh my god, no way. He's like sniffing his hands. Oh my god, insane. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I just
been there. Yeah. Honestly, when you have to go, you gotta go.
I know, and I truly don't understand like all this talk about it being such a big relief, because it just brings me anxiety.
Having to poop?
Yes. That's probably why I was constipated as a kid. Because I was like, I don't want to.
Like, stressed out about pooping. Yeah. But I also feel like for women, society makes women farting, women pooping such a frowned upon thing.
I know.
That,
but they love when we pee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 1 is...
Well.
Everybody Poops.
Everybody
It's a great
poops.
book.
Everybody Poops. Is that a book?
Yeah.
No way.
It normalizes pooping. It talks about animals pooping, grown-ups pooping, kids pooping.
Ugh.
Like,
I don't
everybody
know.
poops.
But everybody does indeed poop. Did you know babies, when they're first born, like, their poop is, like, black, like tar?
Yeah. Yeah. I do know
Reason 685 why I don't plan on having children.
Listen, I went and babysat for this woman in my church. She had twins. And she, like...
Why did you subject yourself to that?
In, like, weeks. And I was like, okay, I got it. And so I had these two. Tell me why. Like, one sets off the other. It's like... And I'm like, no way.
They're revving each other
I'm
up.
one girl. Meanwhile, I'm 16, and I'm like, what do I do? Well, I heard that kids aren't reading anymore. They're only iPadding.
I heard that from a teacher's mouth that kids are not reading anymore. And they're not enjoying reading either. Like, they moan and groan at the idea of reading. I thought, like, if a teacher said to pull out a book, I'm sad.
Sounds good.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Good.
Pull out a math textbook? Absolutely not.
No.
Let's read something else other than math. So the fact that kids are like, I'm just no longer interested in this is actually, like, really sad.
It's bonkers to me because I think about when I was a kid. The most, like, nostalgic thing to me were the illustrations and getting so, like, I could stare at one page like, for hours, just being, like, looking at all the details. I have my favorite drawing or, like, illustrations in books. And to think that kids are just like, I want to watch Subway Surfer.
That's fucking wild. And kids are legit, like, spend so much time on YouTube. And
it's crazy.
I'm just like, man, and again, teenage years and, like, middle school, that's when YouTube, I think, was, like, starting for us. So maybe that's what it is. But, like, I thoroughly enjoyed going to the library as a kid. I enjoyed going to Barnes & Noble as a kid.
Yeah.
And Borders as a kid. I'm aging myself. Do you remember Borders?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Did you guys have Books A Million up here?
Yeah.
Do we?
did.
Is Books A Million still a thing?
I don't think so. I think they closed.
Barnes & Noble outlasting everybody.
I know, which is
But again,
crazy because they're overpriced.
Overpriced as fuck.
Agreed.
But yeah. Well, I'm Tori. And
I'm Olivia.
And this is the very first episode of Library Card Required. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Very excited. I think I'm excited, like, just in general, to talk about books. Because that's what we're here for. That is what the podcast is about. If you couldn't
tell already.
I know, because we
started off... We had a shitty start.
We had a shitty start. But Library Card Required is going to be an amazing podcast all about reading some really cool children's books and doing it from an adult perspective and giving reviews from adult perspective. Mm-hmm. And we've uncovered that some books are problematic. Some books are not the lesson that you thought it was. And I think that's the great part about this podcast is that we are having the ability to see it through different eyes now that we're not kids anymore.
Totally. So. And I think it's really cool that these books are, I mean, a lot of them, at least starting out for these episodes, are going to be books that we grew up with, that had a huge impact on us as kids, how we view the world today even. And it's really cool to just think back about that. Very nostalgic. I love feeling nostalgic. It's so
good
cozy.
Hug. And there's plenty of books. And that's the other great thing is that with you being viewers, we would love for you guys to recommend books that you read as a kid that you want us to talk about here on the podcast. Give us ideas. Give us things that you want to talk about because we're definitely here for that.
Because, everyone poops, but also everyone reads.
Everyone also reads. I hope everyone is reading.
Please.
You should definitely be reading. Keep reading.
It stretches your brain in a certain way that TikTok will never do.
Truly. I think that you have the ability to use your imagination, especially for those books that don't have illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be covering all
Yeah.
types of different books. And so I think that's the best part about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we did go to Second and Charles, one of those bookstores that we were talking about, and picked up a couple of books, just kind of jogging our memory about a lot of stuff. And I personally picked up one of the greats, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That the movie does not compare. Like, truly doesn't compare. We picked up some other chapter books and some other things, but I think that that's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And Liv, you picked up...
I got quite a few things, actually. I think
did.
I got a little carried away, but I got a few Judy Blume chapter books. We'll probably get into those a little bit later. But I got Rainbow Fish. I got a bone to pick with that guy. But, you know, y'all will see. I got Rainbow Fish. I got, what else? Kissing Hand. That one's so cute, so heartwarming. What else did I get?
The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Very Hungry Caterpillar. I got Mixed Up Chameleon. Eric Carle is just
an
a
icon.
Gem,
An icon.
gift to this world. There's going to be a podcast episode all about him and all about all of his contributions to children's books. So, super excited about that. Yeah. So
for you, other than the illustrations, like, was there a book where the illustrations is just like, that's the book for me? Like, I really am obsessed with. Like, is there one? Could you pick one?
I mean, besides Eric Carle, because his was just so, like, it was art. Truly, It was art. But I think another one that comes to mind is the Little Critters series. Do you remember that one?
No, I think I'm going to have to look this up.
Oh, you have to look it up. So, my mom loved the Little Critters series because it was just so funny. Like, you know, he's a kid. I don't know what he is. He's a critter. But he's a kid. He has a little brother.
Oh, I remember these.
They're cute. And it just felt like it was very relatable to me as a kid.
So how have I never read the title just looking at the pictures of it? I thought that he was like either a beaver or a hedgehog.
One of those, for sure.
Wowzers, didn't know that.
But I really liked the illustrations because they didn't exactly go with what the words were saying. Like I think there's one called Time for Bed. It would be like, it's time for bed.
Just go to bed?
Just go to bed. There it is. Just go to bed. And it would be like, it's time for bed. Oh, but first I need a snack. And like, yes, he would be having a snack, but it would be a whole scene. Like, he's sitting on the ground. He has bananas. He has peanut butter. He has crackers out. Like, there's everything, and there's so many details in it that, like, as a kid, after reading the page, I would just stare at the illustration and look at all the little details. It was just so interesting to me. I actually have a giant book of all of the Little Critter books in one that I got for Christmas last year.
I think you should post that on the Instagram. That would be super cute.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs also has really good illustration. I like the style of it. It almost reminds me, and I think this is on purpose, but it almost reminds me of a newspaper.
It does.
Like,
it does give
news.
extra read
There's
all about
meatballs.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I specifically remember reading it in first grade and being really amazed with the book itself, but also the idea that it could be raining food. Like, that's very big backed in like first grade.
Oh, come on.
But like, you wake up and it's a pancake on your house, which, thinking about it now, is probably very, very traumatic.
A pain.
Very traumatic, because a pancake,
cost?
depending on a pancake, it's dense kind of, and a giant one like taking over your entire house. But I really loved the idea of being able to go outside with a plate and just get your breakfast or get your lunch.
What a dream. I love the orange juice was raining.
The orange juice, the raining orange juice, the pancakes, or him out there with an umbrella and a plate. I really enjoyed that book, but I also enjoyed the illustrations. I will say I do like, it's not super vibrant colors.
Yeah.
but it is graphic enough to where you really are getting the grasp of it. Like, to the point where, like I said, it, like, genuinely made me hungry as a kid.
But I think also books with illustrations that were not necessarily super vibrant gave the kid a chance to use their imagination even more.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, when I read that book and I read about the pancake and everything, I could just see in my head the syrup just dripping everywhere, getting all sticky, icky, gross. Like, but it being so magical, like, I love that so much. And I just, illustrators and children's authors know what they're doing. And I don't know what the ones nowadays are doing. We'll definitely be diving into, like,
new books
this year / this decade. What is it
I
called?
guess this decade. This
decade's books.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into the newer books from the last 10 years, though, because I was looking at them. I just Googled, like, books from 2000 to 2024, and I don't know. I think it was the selection that Google showed me, but just the topics that writers are presenting to kids. I understand that, like, there's a lot of topics to talk to about your kids nowadays, but where's the imagination? Where's the fun? Yeah. Where's the whimsy? Like,
so do you feel like it's more so of, like, we're talking about real life things and trying to teach you and understand?
It's taking over. Really. I mean, that, it just...
I will say, I hate that in television, too.
Yeah.
I can't stand... Why am I watching a TV show and you're going through COVID? I went through COVID in real life.
I don't want to read
I personally don't want to read it, see it. Like, I know... And obviously, like, I think that that's good for later on down the line when you're watching TV or when you're reading a book. It's like, oh, this is what happened. But that shit'll be in a history book.
Yeah.
That'll be on a documentary. I don't want that to be in... Because, again, you're supposed to be reading for imagination and to take you to a different place.
Yeah.
And...
Because
fucking COVID happened in the world. Like, I don't need to be taken to a time frame where COVID was.
Because I can't even think about a book from my childhood that was presented to me to teach me about a life something.
No, like, not unless it was a nonfiction book. And I was reading nonfiction books for probably school. The Care and Keeping of You.
Remember that?
The
Care and Keeping of You. The girls with the towels on. That talks about puberty.
Okay, so I never got a puberty book.
What? Oh
I never got a puberty book, but my mom was just like, we're going to have the conversation, so it's no need for me to give you a book. I'm going to give you the
those things made me feel
fucking gritty.
Naughty.
And it's like, oh.
I was like,
oh. Wait, I have to look this book up now.
I'd flip to the page where they're talking about boobs, and as a kid, I'm like,
ooh.
Crazy.
What is this book called? The Care and Keeping of You?
Yeah. It's a very good. And I...
I remember this book.
Yeah.
I feel like my mom is going to be like, I did give you one of those. What the fuck are you talking about? But no, I don't think I had one of these. Is this American Girl doll?
I don't know, but...
It is.
I had, not that one, I had that one.
The Care and Keeping of You.
My mom would point to the purple one and be like, that's you. Isn't that insane? Like, what?
I think for me, I am looking forward to chapter books.
Yeah.
And not to toot my own horn, but I was reading on a higher, like, reading level as a kid, you know. So when, of course I read picture books, but I felt like reading chapter books challenged me a lot more. And I think, like, I was reading, like, Junie B. Jones in kindergarten chapter books, and then, you know, gradually going up. So, like, reading on a higher level than my average classmates. And, like, they would break you up into groups, because I don't know if your school did that, but, like, you were broken up into your reading level group. And so I'm looking forward to the series of unfortunate events, the Geronimo Stilton books, of course we'll get into Junie B. Jones, the Magic Tree House, which, can I make a confession?
You haven't read them?
I have
Please
not read.
Don't.
I have not read the Magic
Have
Tree House.
mercy. Good heavens.
I have not read the Magic Tree House books, and I think that that's probably going to be really exciting because I'm so down to read the Magic Tree House. Yeah. But I just didn't have an appeal to it. My brother read them, and
there's too many of them. I will say. Holy cow.
Why? Why is there so many of these books?
I get it. There's many adventures to be had, but once they got into like fantasy, like there's one that's like the Magic Tree House and the Serpent or something. I was like, all right. I really liked it because it went into like, oh, we're in the jungle, and they're actually talking about like the animals and how they communicate, and like it's very scientific, but still pretty fun and adventurous. But
do you have a favorite chapter book series?
I really like. This is a short series, but I do like the Super Fudge universe.
Super Fudge universe. Judy Blume in general did a very good job with those, because otherwise known as Sheila the Great is one of my favorites. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, such a great book. Super Fudge. Yeah. For me, and I feel like these are so slept on. A to Z Mysteries.
See, I know what they are, but I've never read them.
Shit. The Bald Bandit? You got me. Sold. I'm reading that book. So good. Such a good book. Such a good book series. But I also like that they literally went from A to Z. And it was a theme there. And then like all of them got together. I'm trying to think of some others. But I think those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Lemony Snicket.
Junie B. Jones, of course.
We have that's our girl.
She's an icon.
That's our girl. I found out that she was actually born in June. Her birthday's like June 1st.
So she's a
Gemini. And she acts it too.
Yeah,
that is
sure
very fitting.
That's for certain.
Very, very fitting for Junie B. Jones. But yes, because apparently I think Handsome Warren's birthday, and if you know who Handsome Warren is, you're a true Junie B. Jones fan. But his birthday is December 1st, and her birthday is exactly 6 months after his, or 6 months before, however you want to do it. So, yeah.
So what's he gonna?
December 1st, he's a Sagittarius.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, so he's a Sag, and she's a Gemini.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that they grew up and got married and had children.
They for sure did.
How old would Junie B. Jones be?
Now?
Yes.
We would be friends. For sure.
What year did Junie B. Jones come out?
I'm going to make sure it's still recording.
Okay. Oh my God.
What? Is she 28?
Junie B. Jones is old as hell.
Really?
If we're going based off of the first Junie B. Jones book, Junie B. Jones was born in... No. Because she was... Okay, so if we're really doing math here... Junie B. Jones was in kindergarten the year that I'm looking at.
Right.
Kindergarten, you're 5 or 6 years old. If we're basing it off of... We'll say she's 5 for like the sake of school. So if I do some of my calculations... Damn. Oh my God. I just knew that she was my age. Junie B. Jones is 37 years old.
Whoa.
Junie B. Jones is 37 years old.
Dang.
So Junie B. Jones has kids.
She's like our older sister then.
Yeah.
Than our peer.
She's 10 years older than me. I was not expecting that. Yeah. I just knew she was like 17.
I thought we were peers. Yeah.
We're certainly not.
Like
she has a career. She's a career.
She's about to be retired. Honestly,
she's a career woman.
Handsome Warren, rich.
He comes from a. he comes from money.
With a freaking hairstyle like that.
He comes from. His name was Warren. He comes from fucking money. His parents were rich as shit.
I've never met a Warren that was like.
Poor. Right. Honestly, if your name is Warren and you're poor, let's rethink some things. Because
your parents were manifesting for you.
That's what they were doing. I feel like Warren did she state if Warren was an only child or if he had a sister or anything like that?
I think he was an only child.
It tracks.
Makes sense.
Warren with a and he had blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're fucking rich.
Yeah.
110%. They gave him whatever he wanted.
And Lucille, she was rich, of course.
Lucille was definitely rich. Lucille thought she was better than everyone else.
All that and a bag of chips. With her nose.
Then Jenny B. Jones had her friend Grace, her black friend. With the curly hair. She's really pretty. I do like the representation in books, especially the book came out in 1992.
You know, like, for the time that it was, I mean, it wasn't that long ago or like.
Yeah.
But for the time that it was when we were growing up, I would like to think that the books that we read, or at least I guess that our parents had picked out for us, that matters too, though.
Correct.
Your parents picking it out. But all of my books were very diverse.
I agree. I had some very diverse books. I will say, I think we were talking about this the other day or on another time, but we were talking about the Magic School Bus and how the whole cast of Magic School Bus, which Magic School Bus is also a book series as well, but the whole classroom was diverse. Also, if you look at the class, the kids in the Magic School Bus, and the kids from, did you watch Captain Planet? Captain Planet is like way before our time, but like, have you ever seen episodes of Captain Planet?
Sounds
so they look like the older version of them.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's neat.
But I can't imagine like not being in Miss Frizzle's class. I would be pissed. Do you know how mad I would be?
That's insane.
We're at fucking recess and you're talking about how you went in someone's body or you got baked into a pie?
Right. I want to do that.
What are we doing? My teacher isn't shit. That's what I'm thinking.
We watched Bill Nye. That's what we were doing.
Bill Nye was the shit though. When you got that TV rolled out.
Hype.
Science rules.
I couldn't contain my excitement. I was like, hand me the worksheet. I don't care.
I feel like I was talking about this with someone, but I was like, I feel like getting handed a worksheet while either being on a field trip or watching a TV show ruined the fucking moment. We're here to have a good time. Why are you handing me work to do?
I know. You just had to remind me that I'm at school. I'm like, my God.
This is the one time that we don't have to do something.
And what are you doing over there at your desk? Huh? Eating your pasta salad. Right.
I need help.
And then they come around to help you, and then they help someone else, and they put their whole ass in your face. Like, I know you know what you're doing. You're crazy.
With the legs spread, and you're like, they're all over the desk.
I've never known a math teacher to not have a fat ass.
I have never known a coach to not be fat. A gym teacher?
Because what?
They don't go together.
What are you telling?
You're making me run. You need to be out here running with us.
You got a 3 on the pacer. Do better. I'm like, me do better? Me
Did I ever tell you about the girl who used to cheat on the pacer at my school?
How do you cheat?
So this is what she would do. I feel like everyone in the U.S. has ran the pacer, the Fitness Gram Pacer test. She would run, keep running, and then she'd stop and tie her shoe and let the timer go. And then when she was done, get up and run again. Oh no, my shoe's untied again.
She's
and I have
smart, though. She's a
genius. She was 3 steps ahead, clearly.
Yeah. What's she doing now? Where's she at now?
I don't know.
Cheating the system somewhere else?
Correct, probably. Because she's clearly a cheat. And that's not fair that no one was clocking her shit.
That's crazy.
That's just me. I think that's unfair.
What'd she look like?
But I think it's just more stuff. I'm a hater because I didn't come up with it first.
Honestly, same. I am like that as well. Like, man, you suck.
Like, damn, that was a really good idea. Do you remember the feeling of getting that Scholastic paper for the book fair? Everything's actually I'm just going to circle
I would circle an entire page if it was the entire page.
I think I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that the feeling of going to the book fair, I will never get that feeling back.
Oh my I'd kill for it again.
I will
Like, it's
never
so
get that
good.
feeling back.
Like it's a different sense of excitement. It's not even excitement. It's like it's so beyond.
I also think it's like an independence of it too, because did your teacher take the entire class, or did he or she just send you down to the library if you had money to go?
I think it was the entire class, which it had to be the entire class because I would like be frantic. Be like, Mom, please send me some money.
You gotta give me the money because I can't be the only one.
No.
So I think I had years where certain teachers were like, I'm gonna take the whole class, and then there was days years where a teacher was like, well, if you have money, I need to see the money, and then you guys can just go down to the library as a group. And so I think that's where the independence came from it too. But you also needed to know how to count your money,
right, to
make sure that you were.
Well, so my mom, she would hand me money for the first, few of them, right? Mm-hmm. But then she caught on to the fact that I could not be trusted because I was out here buying like the bouncy ball, the sticky hand, the dig for fossils thing, like the keychain with the cow where you squeeze him and he poops. Like,
Olivia's going to get the books and the accessories. She's getting things attached.
Sure, the pens.
The smelly pens?
The smelly pens.
The
pen with the feather on the end. The pen that looks like a bird that's like... You know what I'm talking about?
I will say I was an invisible ink pen girl. Yeah. I need the invisible pen. Mm-hmm. And my mother also knew that I was going to go get it. So I need the extra money for that. I'm going to get the books. But I'm going to need the money for the pen too.
I need all of your old journals that you wrote in, and we need about blacklight.
Don't even worry about the journals. I was writing on the walls. Actually, I was writing on the walls because you can't see this.
Right.
And I was writing all types of shit. You fucking bitch. You fucking stupid bitch on the wall.
Oh my God.
Probably spelling shit wrong and everything, and then you go over with a black light. I wish that they probably, like, someone has moved into my childhood home and since painted over the walls and everything, I'm sure, because my bedroom was like a pink purplish color, so I'm sure they've painted over it now, but boy, were there probably gems on that wall.
Yeah. Once my mom started to catch on to me taking money and buying frivolous things, there was that log. You remember the log in the book where they could write down what they were getting?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like adding her own things that she wanted me to read too. I'm like, she's like, you are going to read about the Vietnam War. It's important for your family history. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to read about that.
I'm a fourth grader. What do you mean I'm going to read about the Vietnam War?
It was just very important back then.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the book fair, but I also wasn't getting books that were like, oh, I want this chapter book really bad. Like, I was getting the world record books because
those are crazy. You remember the guy that like can put his top lip up here?
I needed the world record books. There was also another series of world record books, not the Guinness World Record, but another world record book. It was like a paperback book. I know, I got kind of like a little stuck there.
What?
But I was one of those. I know some of y'all out there were the Lamborghini poster buyers. Yeah.
Straight up.
You bought that green Lamborghini poster. It was only the green one.
That's so funny. We should definitely have a world record book episode.
For sure.
Because those things are crazy. Also, I think we're at like almost an hour.
Well. Time check? We do need a cameraman.
Like, I'm going to buy the monitor thing from TikTok Shop.
Period. TikTok Shop. You've been funding our entire podcast.
Sponsor me! At this point, sponsor me. I buy everything from TikTok Shop. But yeah, I'm super excited. There's so much fun to come. Stay tuned, of course. Follow us on Instagram if you want to stay up to date on the episodes, voting for what books we're going to review, holidays, stuff. Our Instagram is library card required.
110%. And we plan on getting other social medias just to kind of get across the board. We'll be on YouTube and everything, but we do have the Instagram up and running, so please head on over there and give us a follow. And I think that's it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Remember to keep reading, please.
Stay in school.
For your sanity and ours.
Straight up.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Oh, yeah, we did.
That's a wrap! I had to find this book.